speaking to Zozo?
Zozo. On a smells like rotting.
Alright guys, quick warning because we're going to go into an actual case where a demon is present. The Zozo haunting of Darren Evans. And let me just say, demons are such vile, evil, weird creatures. In the realm of our existence, these are the worst possible things that could ever exist. I don't know why they're here or where they came from, but I do not like it. From what I've learned, the best possible thing you can do for yourself is keep positive emotions. Because demons like to latch onto anger, fear, anxiety, and in all the cases that I see, they latch onto people with those exact emotions. They don't like happy people. So yeah, that's just some advice, and don't let this video affect you. Alright, let's get into this story. In the early 2000s, Darren Evans, his wife Kathleen, and his friend Randy got a Ouija board. Randy came over and they walked upstairs into a room where they attempted to contact the lead singer of AC/DC. They placed the planchette on the board and began to call out. Everything went normally, but at the very end of the session, it said, "See you in hell." So they're like, that was weird, but whatever. So the next day, they decide to do another session. But this time, things got weird. The board said that Randy was cursed and he would die in a car crash. And later, he did. Regardless of this, Darren became obsessed with the board and began to use it again. And one night, him and his wife were using it when suddenly her eyes turned black. She realized that she was blind. She cried and screamed. The planchette on the board went back and forth from Z to O. But eventually, her eyesight would come back. But later that night, Darren was about to walk down the stairs. His daughter was at the bottom, staring up at him, when suddenly something lifted her into the air and she began to scream. She was carried all the way into their basement and pinned against a wall. So Randy and Kathleen were absolutely tormented by this thing forever. And eventually, they just moved out. Also, by the way, I wanted to say I reached out to Darren myself, and I'm going to try to do an interview with him, and I'll post it here on TikTok. So if you guys have any questions that you want me to ask him, leave them in the comments and I will use the top liked comments. So now that you guys know the backstory, we get to the part where the Ghost Adventures team visits the house. Zach Bagans and the crew pull up and they are clearly freaked out.
This is a real demon.
But not as scared as Darren and Kathleen. Kathleen is on the verge of having a panic attack because they haven't been in this house in over 10 years. And Zach wants them to use a Ouija board. So they step inside and the activity just starts immediately.
Weird in here, guys.
And Darren and Kathleen are having flashbacks. So everybody walks upstairs and they go to the exact same spot that Darren and Kathleen used the Ouija board 10 years ago. They sit down, they grab the planchette, and they place it on the board. They call out for Zozo, and as soon as they do, they hear footsteps walk up the stairs.
Are you with us?
Suddenly, the room goes cold, and a feeling of static electricity covers everyone's entire body. Then the feeling of dread completely takes over, and now the room begins to smell like rotting.
You smell that?
You feel? Yes.
I smell like something that smells like.
On a smells like rotting.
After this thing walked up the stairs, the energy, the smell, everything in the entire room became so utterly disgusting that Kathleen is just gagging and coughing. And eventually, she just wanders off. But very soon, she comes back in. But she is no longer Kathleen. Her belt is undone, she's acting weird, her voice sounds different.
You just shut the
What was that?
Who's in here?
Kathleen.
Well, the way she said that.
And she claims to have spoken with Zozo himself. And while all of this is going on, the planchette on the board is going back and forth from Z to O.
Are we speaking to Zozo?
Mama. Zozo. What's wrong?
So eventually they just close out the session, but it seems that it did not do anything because the activity just continues. I've looked for more information on Darren and Kathleen just to see how they're doing now. I did find Darren's social media and that's how I reached out to him, but I'm not sure how he's doing. But that's why I'm hoping to get this interview, so again, leave your comments and I will ask him. That's if I get it, but we'll see. And eventually, I hope I could visit this house. I know as I get bigger, I want to do some like actual investigating myself, so if I could go to that house, that would be cool. I know it is a terrible idea. But you know, you only live once and I feel like I'm pretty protected. So if you guys want me to visit the Zozo house, just let me know. Alright, I'll talk to y'all later.